Okay, so welcome back to another quick video. Today I want to talk about the law of attraction, right? How do you really attract new things into your life, whether that be um, physical things like money, relationship, opportunities, new people, a new place to live, a new life. How do you attract these things into your life, and also like the internal to attract more internal abundance, internal fulfillment, right? Because you know, I've discussed a lot in these different videos, but like I've had many experiences where I've really realized that we attract everything in our life. When I was like deep into like self development, grinding, pushing so hard, but like my external reality was saying back to me like, look, this isn't working because I was still like working in a factory and like living back home with my parents and no money, no relationships, no nothing. But when I started to do like the deep inner healing work, with which again I've talked about in some of these videos, like things just came out of nowhere without even trying, without doing anything, right? So the first thing I want to say in regards to the law of attraction, right? Because it can become like quite popular and quite interesting, like, oh, this idea, like I don't have to do anything and I can just attract things into my life. It's kind of like a half truth, right? And like a lot of like I don't know, like spiritual teachers online or stuff like this, like these videos online. It's kind of they kind of entice you into the law of attraction, because for them to like sell their book or something about the law of attraction, or their course, or whatever it is. But they kind of don't talk about the fact that, like, yes, it's correct, it's a law, it's true, the law of attraction is true, but it's only one law, right? There's different laws in the universe. It's kind of, you have to align all of the different laws together, and not just isolate the law of attraction, because a lot of people can learn like a simple concept like your thoughts create your reality, and then they get stuck in the fact that like, oh, I'm just gonna like control my thoughts and I'm not gonna do anything in the external world, and that doesn't work, right? So like if you've read books like, for example, the Kabbalion, which is like Hermetic philosophy, coming back from like Hermes and stuff like this, and like learning about alchemy and different things, you begin to learn about like these different kind of laws about the universe, right? And obviously one of them being, the first law being the law of mentalism, that everything is mental, right? And the thought creates the reality. And essentially, when we come from that frame of mind, we kind of think in our egoic terms, like my thoughts create my reality, right? But we're kind of stuck in this 3D reality, and we think that the physical body and my mind and my brain, that's what exists. And it does in this reality. But we forget that when we talk about like mentalism and thoughts creating reality, we need to look at all of the different realities, because we are multi-dimensional beings, right? We come from different realities as well. We live in different realities at the same time as living in this physical earth. So essentially, it's connecting your thoughts and mentalism in all of these different realities and to rise above that. And essentially, yes, once you align your thoughts, you do again to attract things into your life. But it's kind of to look at the human being holistically. So we can look at the different dimensions, and we can also look inside of us as well. Kind of, okay, like the basic law, like what we're learning here is my inside creates my outside. My how I'm being inside, right, is creating outside, and all in the different dimensions and all that we're connected to. So when we look at our inside, what it's made up of three components, which I mentioned, I think, in the last video, which is our identity, which is our thoughts. Most people who learn about the law of attraction, they just focus on the thoughts. But you've also got your emotions, which are what drive the thoughts, right? So most people, they don't think about their emotions, they're just trying to control their thoughts, right? Which doesn't work. Like, it's just controlling and constriction. But like, your emotions are what are creating the thoughts, right? And when your emotions are creating these thoughts are creating your actions, are determining what actions that you're taking in your life. So these three components that come together, they equal something called congruence. And when you're congruent to your dream reality, let's say you have a dream right now, like a mission in your life, or you want to do something in the world, or maybe you're an artist or something, or you have like a goal with money or whatever. Basically, you're in this reality right now, with these thoughts, these emotions, and these actions. Maybe you're procrastinating, maybe you have bad habits, maybe negative thoughts, emotions, you're feeling depressed or down or lack of motivation or whatever. We need to literally transform that identity into where your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions are aligned to your dream reality, right? And that identity, that new being, that sends off an energetic frequency, right? Who you're being as a person. You send off an energetic frequency that is aligned to your dream. And it's amazing when you align your energetic frequency, you begin to attract opportunities, new ideas, new people, new resources into your life. And it happens, it's outside of the realm of time, because it's actually happening in like the fifth dimension and high dimensions where time doesn't exist, right? So things can come in record time. That's why, like, for me, looking back, like when I spent so much time in self-development and nothing really happened, online business, all these things. But as soon as I made that click and healed internal emotions and did like energy healing work, then the results, boom, they just came straight up, like literally like within weeks. I was like living in a different country, and then a few months later, like me and my wife, for example, and getting into like new things with my life, with like plant medicines and stuff, and living where I'm living now and making more money and all these beautiful things. But that didn't come from like trying harder, you know, or like a new tactic. It's like I changed the internal and then the external began to reflect that. So real briefly, another concept here is that, you know, through the last 2,000 years, we've been living through the age of Pisces, right? And Pisces is all about like spiritual ideals. That's why kind of in the shadow form of Pisces is how we've lived through like religion, you know, for the last 2,000 years. And what happened with religion is they cut off the magic of life, because, you know, like there's these people like witches that they call them, and like people like working with like you know, like herbs and potions and like studying alchemy and you know, different things like this. And they, like, a lot of people like that got killed for having spiritual wisdom, you know, because they want all of the spiritual wisdom to come directly from the church. So you have to have a middleman to get the church, and obviously they control a lot of the people's, a lot of their beliefs, ideals and whatever, to kind of control the population. And, you know, kind of from that, we have a lot of trauma to realize the magic of life. And now we live in a very scientific world, right? We go to school, we learn about like cause and effect and evolution. Like cause and effect, again, it's another law of the universe. I take this action, I get a reaction, right? It's another law, but we kind of isolate that law. Like everything's physical. That's kind of what we learn. And we're so cut off from the magic of life. That's why it's so hard for people to really get their mind around like the law of attraction. Like, wait, I've been told all my life that I need to go to school, I need to get a job, and then I can make enough money to buy a house and have a family and go on holiday and whatever, and all of that story. And it's just science, and that, no, like magic and stuff, like that's for stupid people and that's for kids, right? We have that in our head. So like in deep in our subconscious as well. So in order to look beyond, like, wow, like I really attract my reality, it's a big step to undo a lot of these beliefs if you've grew up in like a Western society, which most of us have if you're watching this video, right? So essentially, yeah, we got to unwire loads of our beliefs of how like reality works, you know, because like one of the main things that we all believe is kind of like, I have to make enough money to buy this thing and then I can live my dream, you know, like my dream is to like travel, so like I need to save up all this money so I can go traveling, for example. Like, no, like the law of attraction doesn't work like that. The law of attraction is like, this is my dream, and like a lot of the times like you attract things into your life without even using money, right? Like opportunities come into your life and you're living your dream in a completely different way. We get so logical, like this is how my plan needs to be, this is my dream, this is the steps I'm going to take. Like, it's great to take action to become more aligned with that identity, and obviously we're always planning, and we live in this 3D dimension as well. But it's kind of to relax on the ideas that we have about how things need to happen, and like we need a certain amount of money in order to achieve our dreams and our goal, right? So essentially, what I want to say here, just to re-emphasize what I already said, your internal reality creates your external reality, and whatever your like dream is for your life, you have to become the type of person that like deserves that dream energetically, right? So you have to align your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your actions in alignment with that dream. Okay, because most people are stuck in survival. So all of their thoughts and emotions and actions are based around survival. Like, I need to make enough money, I need to survive, I need to keep going. And they stay in that loop, they stay in that reality all their life, thinking like, one day I will have enough money, or one day I will know enough and I've trained enough and I'm good enough to experience something in the future. And they always stay in that reality, right? Always in that loop. So we have to break out of that loop of survival, and we have to go into a state of thriving, right? To change our identity, thoughts, emotions, and actions, right? And become that person. So essentially, the way that we become that person is through healing, right? Like, as I said, like the thoughts kind of come from the emotions, and the emotions dictate the actions. So really, one of the core things we have to look at is our emotions, right? And where do our emotions come from? Most of the emotions come from the past. So like, we're always living in the past. We're always living in the same reality because of our past. We're feeling the same patterns of feelings of depression, sadness, anger, frustration, loneliness, whatever. And those are dictating our thoughts, and obviously dictating our actions, and sending off an energetic frequency to the world that attracts those situations back into your life, right? So really the key for me, what I found, is dealing with the emotional side, which is true healing, right? Looking into your past in this life, looking into like past lives, looking into the lives of your ancestors. And ultimately, that's understanding on a mental level, but also doing more emotional based things. Like for me, for example, like one of the biggest things was like getting introduced with like plant medicines, like ayahuasca and mushrooms and different things like this, right? Different medicines. Also like energetic healing, pranic healing, meditation, like amazing tools to begin with. I also made a video on the gene keys the other day, which is great insight into what emotions that we're holding and how to align with your higher self. Like, gene keys for me is like a complete alchemical system to look at your life objectively, and then you can decide what to do with that, like how to heal that, how to contemplate that, and eventually unwire these deep patterns that we have. So essentially, just to keep it brief here, not gone too long, I think to make it a bit practical, maybe 4 questions that you can ask yourself in order to begin to work with this law of attraction, and to attract different things into your life, and ultimately to begin to change your life, right? Like, this is a video for people who actually want to change. Maybe you want something more out of life. I would begin to ask yourself kind of first, like, what is it that you want? You know, like, what is your dream? And most people don't know because they've been so cut off from their their inner desire. We've been so repressed through living through this system and going through school and living through so many traumas and different things like this, that we're so cut off. So like, first is going on the journey is like, okay, what is my dream? You know, like what is it that what I really want, and not some ideal that has been placed in your head by society that you need to go and like change the world or something, or what. If that's a true authentic desire, of course, like amazing. And like these basic needs of survival, because most of the people, they think what their basic needs are is what their true dream is. So like, they replace it for like money or like sex or relationships or things like this, right? So like, what is your core dream? We have to get in touch with that, because if you don't know what you want, like what your desire is, like you've got no chance, right? Like society is gonna keep you there. It's the saying, you know, like, if you don't have a plan for your life, someone else will have a plan for your life, right? And you become part of someone else's plan. So first, what is it that you want? Okay, and once you know what you want, most people, what they do with a goal is like, this is what I want, so I'm going to make a plan and I'm going to do it. Okay, but I would say take a preliminary I don't know how to say that word, before, like a step before that, okay? A step before making a plan and going on all this, this mind stuff. So first, what is it that you want? What's your dream? Second, what is your current situation? You know, like, what have you attracted in your life so far, right now? Be really honest with yourself. What is your situation? Where are you living? How much money are you making? Right? What is your body like? What are your relationships like? How do you feel inside? What actions are you taking? All right, and really, really get clear. Okay, like this is my dream, and this is where I'm at right now. Okay, and that gives you a map. Like, okay, this is my goal here. This is what I'm alchemizing. This is my what I want to attract in my life, and this is what I need to deal with. Because most people, they don't want to deal with the pain. They don't want to see their reality. They're just stuck in the future, like or the past or future. They're not really in the present looking here because there's so much pain, right, with the current reality. So we always try to escape, for example, to the future. This is my dream, this is my dream. Or people who don't really connect with that is like, oh, I'm thinking about my past relationship, past whatever, past problems, okay? So like really get in the present here. Be honest with yourself. What have you attracted in your life so far? And be real clear. What is it? What is your life like right now? Because this current situation, this is the key to everything. Okay? If we alchemize this, if we change the energetic vibration of your current situation, you're going to match inside of the vibration of your dream and you're going to attract that into your life. Okay? So once you're aware of your current situation, you ask yourself, okay, who are you being right now in your life? Okay, what is your current identity? What are the thoughts that you have, okay, on a daily basis? What are the actions that you're taking in your life, or lack of actions that you're taking? And what emotions do you feel on a day-to-day basis? And really sit with that over a period of time and contemplate these emotions. And again, with all these emotions, the first thing is with healing is like being able to sit with yourself. You know, stop running away. Stop running away in your work, in addictions, in like partying or friends or videos or Netflix or whatever. The first step is to sit with yourself and be honest. If you can't do that step, it's going to be hard to go inside and to really change your life. Most people stay in the same loop because they're so afraid of dealing with themselves. But on the inside, there's nothing but love. You know, we're so afraid of going inside, but there's nothing to fear in the end, right? So the question here is, who are you being? Right? Who are you being? Because your being has created your current situation, you know, and begin to deal with these emotions, look into different healing modalities if you need them, different help from different people. But ultimately, the end game comes with you dealing with yourself and being aware of your own patterns and being aware of the origins of these patterns and having the ability to breathe and to let go and to release and to integrate these shadow patterns that we have, right? And once you know who you're being in your current situation, the next step is, who do you need to be, right? Because once you begin to heal these emotions and these patterns, you create like a vacuum of space in order to choose who you want to be in your life right now, right? When you heal these deep emotions, you liberate so much energy, because emotion literally means energy in motion. It's moving energy, right? Once we liberate a lot of that moving energy, it's like there's space for new energy to enter your body. So like kind of ask yourself, the person who is capable of living my dream, who are they? You know, what kind of person, what kind of identity do they have? What actions do they take? What thoughts do they have on a daily basis? What emotions are they feeling? And begin to connect with that on a daily basis, who you're being, right? And once we begin to integrate that new personality, you will begin to attract new things into your life, and it's really miraculous how it happens. I really hope for you, if you haven't had already like these kind of experiences, I pray for this for you, because it really opens yourself up to the magic of life. When you attract something into your life like magic, it opens you up again to the beauty and the of nature and how the world works, right? And you can't go back. You know, you can't go back to living in the normal system and the way people think. You know, so those are the 4 questions there. Like, what do you want? What is your current situation? Look into that. That's the key there. What's happening? Who are you being? And heal those patterns that we have dealing with the emotions. And who do you need to be? Right. So essentially, I'd invite you to look into like the work. For example, I remember when I was beginning, I originally looked into the work like Joe Dispenza and stuff like that, and that really began to help me in the beginning, because Joe Dispenza's stuff is very practical. It's like a lot of meditations and different things. So and he talks exactly about this, changing your identity, you know, and you begin to attract different things into your life. That's something I started when I was like 18, 19, just before things started to shift for me, and that stuff really works, and it's a great introduction to a lot of like the healing world and meditation and stuff like this. So if you're there at that position and looking into different things, I recommend maybe starting with Joe Dispenza's book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. That's a great place to start. And again, like on this channel, I'm going to be sharing different like healing modalities that have helped me over the last few years. And yeah, like I hope the best for you. Go and live your dreams, man. Like life's too short to stay in the system, to work for something that you're not passionate about, to be stuck in these problems with relationships, with money and whatever. I really think and believe and know that we are creators of our life, and we have this opportunity. Like life's here and now. We're not living for the future. We're not living for a different life. Like the opportunity is here and now. This is the gift, and we have the gift of creating our reality, co-creating our reality, right? So I hope this video was helpful in some way, and yeah man, go and create your dreams. See you in the next video.